Just wait till y'all see what we have happening in the greenhouse today. I'm super excited. We're gonna have to do a little bit of reorganizing, and we've got a nice and cozy 70 degrees Fahrenheit to work in while we're out here today on this middle of December. All right, my friends, well, you probably already guessed it because of the title of the video and the thumbnail. We're turning this greenhouse into a relaxing spa. It's going to be an amazing place to hang out and to grow some crops. The hot tub is going to work as a heat sink. All the heat being generated, it's going to disperse into the greenhouse and keep the plants thriving throughout the winter months. It's going to be a wonderful place to relax at the end of the day. But the first step here is to clear out this area here. So I've got some ideas on how I'm going to resituate things. By the way, the oyster mushroom fruiting blocks are doing well. A couple days in the process, you can see the mycelium starting to jump off of the grain spawn there. But what I've done here, just to keep things at the proper temperature range, you want it between 70-75 degrees Fahrenheit. That's going to be optimal for growing the oysters out of the fruiting bags. Anything hotter could cause contamination to arise where competitors can begin to thrive. So we don't want to get in too warm, we don't want to get in too cold. But these heat mats, as we're currently dipping into the 30s, it's keeping at least the bottom half of these fruiting blocks at about 73 degrees. Perfect. So we'll continue to update you on that as well. And we're gonna have to resituate this pallet shelf as well. All right, so we've cleared out this back end of the greenhouse here. Next step is to make the ground perfectly flat and level, at least to the best of our ability. You can see I've got everything stacked up over here for now, till we figure the rest out. All right, so for this next step, I've got this tamper we're going to use to pound the ground down as flat as possible, any high spots. And we got a level to check our work here. You know, for the most part, when I put this together, I had it leveled out, but not perfectly. There are some high spots, some bumps and lumps here. First things first, I'm just going to do a quick sweep up on the floor here. Tried doing this with some cheap weed block, you just probably punch right through it. So that's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's good. We're just a little high on this end. I think I'll smack it a few more times. So the next step, and I would be doing this regardless of the surface, is to put down some padding. I'm going to be using some anti-fatigue, those puzzle mats that you see in gyms. I'm going to lay that down primarily for insulation. It's just going to put a little buffer between the ground and the bottom of the spa, allowing for it to retain heat better. And it's also going to prevent any possible puncturing at the floor of the spa, just in case there's any sharp object under there that I'm not aware of. So I've got some of that gym flooring left over from a previous project. I'm glad I didn't toss it out now, because it's kind of ratty. Now, if you are doing a similar setup, I recommend checking out the reuse stores like Play It Again Sports if you got one of those in your area. I was able to pick up a bunch of this really cheap, slightly used. Otherwise, it can be quite expensive. And I believe we need about 16 squares. All right, my friends, so here's what we're working with. This is the 𝗙𝗲𝗿𝗁 inflatable portable spa. You gotta love that wood grain appearance there on the outer shell. But we've got 180 bubble jets. It also has a freeze shield. So if you leave on vacation, for example, or if you're just not using it on a daily basis, it's going to keep it warm enough to where it doesn't freeze, which is wonderful for a greenhouse situation, as it is going to work as a heat sink, because whenever you have a larger body of water that remains unfrozen in cold freezing weather, it warms up the ambient air temperature, which is why if you have a pond, for example, that remains fluid throughout the winter months, you may notice you've got a nice little microclimate around that area where plants can thrive and survive better than in other areas of your yard. It's because of the microclimate that that little body of water can create. So this is made of some drop stitch ultra sturdy material, which provides rigidity. Once this thing is fully inflated and filled with water, it feels very rigid from my understanding. And it heats up to 104 degrees. And here's some more info off the box. Claims it can fit 5 to 7 people, maximum 104 degree Fahrenheit temperature, heating and bubble massage, power saving timer, inflates in 10 minutes, air jet massage system. It's coming alive. It's coming alive. Yep, this is going to take a little while. Be back with you in a little bit. Alright guys, so I just thought of something I want to do. And I'm glad I thought of it now before the water gets too full. But I'm going to run some paracord under the spa in 2 different places so I can attach it to the frame of the greenhouse just to add more rigidity, more strength to the greenhouse, helping to pin it down. Now you could do the same thing with ratchet straps or pretty much whatever you have. This is a high tensile strength paracord. This will work just fine. So now we can tie these off to the frame. And we'll do the same thing over here. So with all the way to the spa, there is no chance that this greenhouse is blowing away in a major windstorm. Alright, so I quickly hooked up the pump, and while the spa is still filling, because we got the water above the filter and the jet there, I'm able to begin the heating process, which is going to take pretty long, 24 to 48 hours before this is up to temperature. Alright guys, so check it out. It's been almost a couple days since we began the project. Basically got everything done. We've been waiting for the spa to fully heat up. I think we're just about there. We'll check that out in a second. But I just want to show you how I reorganized in here. We now have a double pallet shelving unit here in the greenhouse, which is working great. I also brought in some of these shoe racks. It's actually a tall shoe rack made out of lightweight plastic, and I don't know what this material is, some sort of fabric. But you can break these down to any size. It's quite affordable. So this will be great for starting seedling trays. We still got plenty of area to include more plants. Now back in this corner, I want to do something with maybe a tropical plant over there as a backdrop to the spa. We located the thermometer. We're at 60 degrees in here today. We've got a little bit of rain coming into the area as well. And so here's the spa with the cover on it. So it's showing 102 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're just 2 degrees from top temperature. So it's good to go at this point. And the cover here has an inflatable top that fits into the cover. It's real nice. And I already treated this water. It's good to go. And I ended up only using 12 of these anti-fatigue gym flooring panels. And that was just perfect. And we'll be monitoring and experimenting with what type of temperature shift we may be able to accomplish here with the spa inside the greenhouse. Now with the cover on, it's going to retain most of that heat, but it still should stop it from getting below freezing in here. But the other way to do this would be to remove the top and allow much more of that heat to escape into the greenhouse. So we'll play with both of those things. And of course, the cost of running this system is something we're going to pay attention to as well. We wanted a nice place to relax and hang out together. A spa seemed like the perfect investment for the wife and I to enjoy life a little bit. And why not put it inside of the greenhouse where it's protected from falling debris and leaves and rain? Allows us a nice place to relax and at the same time be surrounded by the variety of plants that we're going to be growing in here, and even mushrooms growing inside of the greenhouse, inside of a greenhouse. And there's still yet a couple more things that I'm going to be adding into this greenhouse that's going to tie this whole design together and just make it all that much more functional and enjoyable to be in. Something else worth pointing out is that the rim of the spa, which had a few kinks in the beginning, smoothed out beautifully with the spa being full of now hot water. Anyway guys, the wife and I are extremely excited now to give the new spa a try on this drizzly Sunday afternoon. We'll see you in a little bit. So what can you say, honey?
This one is pretty cool.
You enjoy?
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
So outside it's windy, it's cycling between drizzle and rain, but in here we're cozy. We're cozy, we're warm, we're relaxing. And what I'm thinking is that in the summertime, I'll probably forego heating this and just have it as a small pool to come and take a dip in, which would be nice. Now, I filled the water into this spa at the minimum level, just slightly above minimum. And with both of us in here, it's right to the brim. So I could have gone even a little less on the water. We're about to turn on the bubbles, and when we do that, it's probably going to overflow a little bit. That's okay. You ready for bubbles?
Yes.
Little overflow. Well, it got really steamy in here quickly with the bubbles. We could vent and open up the doors or the side windows, but this is nice. It's kind of like a steam room too.
Where are you? Oh, here you go.
This is awesome. This is so relaxing.